name is Sasha, and I'm doing my third little video about today's dedicated to breastfeeding in public. Breastfeeding in public. So, first of all, I just want to say that how you feed your baby is your own damn business. And this is not a place for judgment on whether you're doing it right or wrong. If that baby is growing and smiling, awesome. You know, this platform is all about telling you you're a great mom, no matter what you're doing, because you're the best mom for that baby. In terms of breastfeeding, it's a choice. For a lot of us, it's a choice. For a lot of us, it's not a choice. Okay? Sometimes the milk is just not produced. There's nothing you can do. There's no tea you could drink. You've tried all the, all the things or whatever. It's not happening. You choose formula. You choose whatever little bouillon that you're doing, whatever kasha that you're making. You're feeding your baby. Sometimes it's a choice. A woman can choose not to breastfeed her baby. So, practice acceptance and woman love. Woman love is you saying, you go, sister, do what you got to do. There ain't no wrong way. You could do it how you can do it. So I really encourage that kind of behavior because you just don't know the story of that person's, this is not a place for judgment. Okay, breastfeeding in public. If you have the milk and you've made the choice to breastfeed, this video is for you. As much research has shown, breast milk is super amazing for the baby, the most nutritious thing we can offer the baby, and free. And super convenient. Yeah, I think a lot of people don't think about that. It's not just that it's the best thing. It's that it's there, it's ready, and it's like, boom, I got food. Okay? For those of you who have taken your babies out of the home when they were young and had to feed them, you know what it is to carry pumped breast milk or, warm food so that your baby can eat. It's not the easiest thing. And unless milk is pumped right away, it doesn't have a long shelf life. So basically when you pump milk, I think it could sit for like 8 hours and be drank within 8 hours. But if you put it in the fridge, you're denaturizing a lot of the proteins and the chemical formula of that milk. And so now that milk can only really stand, 3 to 4 hours? 2 hours? Check on that information. But it's cold also, so now you have to find a way to warm it up. So for those of you who have been through this experience, it's quite a hassle. Mind you, while all this is going on and you're like, oh, I need to put it in a bottle and I need to warm it up, like your baby's like hungry. So then you're like, I gotta poop and there's milk inside. How can anybody be against that? So it's super convenient. The problem in this country and many countries is that we have permission in many places to breastfeed, but it's not encouraged. Okay? It would be amazing if there was and there are movements on the internet for breastfeeding, but it would be amazing if in my hometown, the local bagel shop, the 3 little restaurants, and the community, you know how they had those stickers on the doors and the windows as you walk in, like, we got the Wi-Fi, we take the credit cards, blah, 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 blah. It would be amazing if there was another little sticker that just says breastfeeding friendly. So that a breastfeeding mom can see that and feel supported and encouraged. I did not feel that way, of course, because I don't see any these. No one has. We haven't gone there yet, but we definitely are on the way. I truly believe that we are on the way with due time. So in this current society, because we don't have that encouragement, we don't really feel that support, we're on guard. Okay, so from my personal experience, I felt on guard in my breastfeeding in public. And I didn't really, do it. I didn't have that many experiences. And with those moms that I have talked with who have had no experiences, I've come to realize that it starts with support. So what that means is find a mommy. Find a mommy that's also in that same situation, needs to breastfeed. So in my personal example, I met this mommy and we were like, let's go, buy some baby clothes. I need some stuff. And she asked me, are you bringing a bottle? And I said, sure, I'll bring a bottle, but let's breastfeed in public. And she said, oh, I've never done that before. And I said, let's give it a shot. And so there we are in a mall. Babies are hungry. Kind of finding out the empowerment and the guts to expose ourselves, which is a very vulnerable place. Breastfeeding in public is a very vulnerable situation. You are exposing yourself. You're feeding your baby. You're feeling a lot of love, a lot of connection, bonding, and at the same time, you're not ready for any kind of negative criticism. Like, you're just not prepared for it because you're so vulnerable and open. You're feeling so much love. Your body's literally creating food. So it's a very vulnerable place. And naturally, in order to, protect ourselves, naturally, a lot of women and myself, we become on guard. Like, if somebody looks at me or says something, I'm going to say this, this, and that. So even in the state of vulnerability, I want to defend myself. And thank the Lord that I did not have anybody give me a wicked eye or a snark or, snarky comment. I did not get that. In fact, every time that I did look up, once I was brave enough and looked around and kind of made some eye contact, I remember people either not giving a hoot, they were going about their business, not even noticing me, or getting some smiles, some looks of like nothing, no judgment, just like boop. But definitely getting some smiles and some like, oh, that's so sweet. So, and that was interesting to notice because I saw my on guard energy, and it's not what I expected. So it was quite, rewarding, in fact, to be in public, to do the natural thing my body was designed to do, and also to receive some love and support from the people around me, and that being something I didn't expect. Okay. And I had this one other example. I just thought of this. I went to this, little restaurant, and I had to feed my baby, and it was like a cafe, and there was this older gentleman, a grandpa. I saw him through the window, and I saw him getting out of his car and kind of like scoot over into the cafe, and I was like, oh my God, he's definitely going to say something to me or look at me funny. And he didn't. It was exactly, again, what the other side of what I expected. He just kind of looked, he saw me breastfeeding, and then as I came out of the restaurant, he says, oh, baby, so cute, it was wonderful. So, of course, you're going to have different experiences as well. I went to my pediatrician's office. This is an interesting example. And even though I was kind of like in the last, behind the thing, kind of hidden in the little corner, I was breastfeeding my babes. I guess somebody from the office came out, I don't know, a secretary or maybe, and she said, "I'm sorry, you're going to have to cover up." And this is a pediatrician's office. This is my baby's doctor's office. She says, "I'm sorry, you're going to have to cover up. There's children here." At which point I looked around. I saw no children because it was an empty office at the time. And I said, "Really? There's nobody here, and I don't think children are the problem, because I don't think children really care. They're like, meh, they're not in that state of mind. Maybe, older kids, but there was nobody there." Anyway, I didn't want to start World War III, which I could have easily. And, she showed me upstairs, and I walked upstairs with him, and I passed these beautiful couches with, there was a, fish tank and little tables and carpet. It was really nice, paintings. And I'm like, huh. And then she opened the door to number 12. And she says, "Right this way." And it was like a dark dungeon room with no windows and a table and a chair. I said, "Okay." And I looked around the room and she left. And I said, "You know what? I'm going to sit right there. And if she says something, then I'm going to start World War III. But this looks like a really private spot, etc., etc." And I fed him. So I didn't start World War III. And when I told my doula about this experience, man, was she pissed. She was so pissed that this happened at his doctor's office. And with my permission, she gave them a call. And now I realize the wisdom of her actions, because in the end, it's not really only about me. It's about the 25 women after me who have this experience and whose desire for breastfeeding in public will be crushed, which is a grave responsibility. We all have a certain responsibility, not only to our experience, but to the experience that follows us. So, in hindsight, I see the wisdom of her actions. And guess what? The next time I came to that office, man, they had a meeting, they had a board meeting, blah, blah, blah. They had sensitivity training, I don't know, but there were posters about breastfeeding, that it was breastfeeding friendly environment. So go doula, go Emily. Breastfeeding in public. There are breastfeeding circles. So women are sitting in a circle, I'm assuming, and just breastfeeding. Okay? I think that there's that kind of support system everywhere. If you just look, Craigslist, Meetup, the hospital, ask your doula, ask your midwife, ask your doctor. Start your own meetup. Do you know what I'm saying? I just recently started my own meetup. It's just like 7 of us who joined. We've only had one gathering, nothing extreme, but I feel that I'm building a little network of women who want to support each other. So, be the pioneer. Start it up. Because when you have support from other women, and you see that they're doing it and it's fine, and you can do it also in public, and maybe you'll go and take a walk to the park and sit down and practice this, because you also have to get all the holds right and have some kind of fellow thing, and you see that you can do it. Yeah, so support, getting some kind of support system together really helps, Of course, I'm not talking to the few the hero mommies that have zero problem breastfeeding in public. They're like, boop, boop, boop. This video is not for you. You're obviously really on it, and please share any wisdom that you've picked up along the way with us in the comments, and maybe even make a video for us. That would be amazing. But for those of us who are a little shy about the whole situation, not knowing how to approach it, this video is for you. Okay, so get some support. Realize the convenience of this action. It's not just about being the greatest mom. It's about having life being easier for you at that moment, right? And realize that even though you are on guard in that situation because it's so vulnerable, you know, take a few eye contacts and reevaluate your opinion on the matter. Perhaps people just aren't as judgy as we're prepared for them to be in our minds. Okay. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Remember that you're a great mom, period.